this morning I addressed Kevin Durant, superstar basketball player for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I addressed what he had to say about me, accusing me of lying. Did not call me a liar. Just accused me of lying when I talked about how if he doesn't elect to stay in Oklahoma City, Los Angeles is one of the premier teams on his list. There's possibilities of L.A. Said that went a step further, which is why I took it personally. I don't talk to Stephen A. Smith. My family doesn't talk to Stephen A. Smith. My friends don't talk to Stephen A. Smith, so he's lying. And on First Take, I did a couple of things. Number one, I pointed out how he was lying. Because every time I see Kevin Durant, we exchange pleasantries. We're very cordial to one another. I certainly have no problem with him. I was not aware that he did not talk to me. I've interviewed him on several occasions in the past. That's point number one. Point number two, his mother is absolutely, positively wonderful. An absolute joy. And everything that he said about her and the tears that came down her cheeks listening to her son express his love and devotion to her is to be commended. She deserves it. But I've spoken to her before. Number three, his brother Tony and some of the folks in his inner circle. I've never spoken to them before. Really? Might want to ask them that question again. Number four, and perhaps most importantly, I did not appreciate being put in a position where I had to come and defend myself, especially against somebody who I admire and respect. I think Kevin Durant is a great dude. I think he's a wonderful person, a wonderful ambassador for the game of basketball. I think he's a good young man. He's an incredible role model. He's a decent human being. And I applaud him and his family. I wish a lot of people were like them. But he crossed the line in this particular instance in trying to attack my credibility. He was wrong. It was uncalled for. And it was flat out false. First of all, I don't need to talk to Kevin Durant to find out about what's going on with him. I think over the course of my career, I've proven that. My producers extraordinaire, Jonathan Winthrop, Nuno Texiera, Marcus Matthews, my social media expert. I'm sorry, did y'all see too many people out there breaking more stories than I've broken in my career? Does anybody know that? I mean, does anybody? Am I wrong? I'm making it up? Are you kidding me? You got to be crazy. And to sit up there and to put myself in the question like that was false. When I broke the story about LeBron coming to South Beach, I never talked to LeBron. When I broke numerous stories throughout my career about Allen Iverson, it wasn't Allen Iverson that I spoke to. When I go to Larry Brown or Pat Croce in the past, or stories in Seattle involving Gary Payton and Paul Westphal, or stories about Kobe and Shaq, or the list goes on and on. Most of the time I go to them is after I have the information because I almost never get it from them. But I'm still here, ain't I? And the fact that a player like Kevin Durant would be so sensitive as if to come at me like he has been victimized. By whom? Let me ask a rhetorical question to all of you out there. Can you think of anybody that has been treated better than Kevin Durant as a professional athlete? First, he was engaged to get married. Then it never happened. Did anybody ask him about that? Didn't even bother him. Didn't even bother him. Shift in attitude. 1 minute, he's got a campaign about kindness. And he's donating $1 million to the American Red Cross because of the catastrophe from the tornado in Oklahoma. And he's doing all of these incredibly philanthropic and charitable things. And the next minute, he's cussing out the media, talking about none of y'all don't know bleep. I don't even like talking to y'all. Had to come back and apologize for that. And then turn around because the reason he was cussing at the media at last February's All-Star Weekend was because he was upset that they were asking him about Scott Brooks, and he was saying nobody knew what they were talking about. But for those same media members that supposedly didn't know what they were talking about, the same questions they asked him was exactly what ended up happening 2 months later when the Oklahoma City Thunder fired a coach who had won more than 65% of his games for them. So evidently they weren't making it up. And by the way, where was Kevin Durant after that? He was nowhere to be found. And so I said what I had to say, and I reminded him about the soapbox that I have, First Take in radio, how I'm live on the air for 4 hours a day. Do you really want to make an enemy out of me? Really? Really? You want to get into a tit for tat where you think you're going to have the last word against me? Because that's all I mean, ladies and gentlemen. He will not have the last word. I will see to that. But now, here we get to the bigger part, which is what I think fuels the Kevin Durants and all of these professional athletes who are inclined to use Twitter and the Players Tribune and beyond to circumvent themselves around the very media that they supposedly despise, but are willing to use anytime it can help them earn an extra buck, by the way. This media, obviously in desperate attempts for hits to their blogs and beyond, will sit up there and they'll take my comments. Oh, Stephen A. threatened Kevin Durant. That's what I'm hearing. USA Today, TMZ, whomever. Well, you call it what you want. In my opinion, I'm not threatening him. I'm stating fact. You want to call it a threat that I'm saying? I'm asking a rhetorical question. You really want to make an enemy out of me? You want to call it a threat that I'm assuring you that you will not have the last word? It will be me. Go right ahead. I never said I was going to make up and fabricate false information about him and negative information about him, because I would never do that. See, I work for somebody. It's called ESPN. It's called the Worldwide Leader. And in case y'all didn't notice, we actually have standards. We're not a company that's looking for standards. Work for Walt Disney. Work for ABC. I don't play that game. I'm not going to make anything up. I'm not going to hurt him. I love Kevin Durant. I'm disappointed that he did this. Actually hurt that he would try to call me out of all people, because I've always thought we were pretty damn cool. But I would never hurt anybody intentionally and without provocation. And I certainly wouldn't do it by falsifying information or being on some kind of vendetta. I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. In this day and age, you don't have to. Let me tell you, the worst thing any player that doesn't want attention can do is come at me, because I'm going to address you. And you think you want me at the arenas. You don't. I find out more in 5 or 10 minutes at the arena than I would making 50 to 100 phone calls. Anytime I'm desperate to find out something, all I got to do is show up at a stadium or an arena. You'd be surprised how many folks are there who sing like birds. You have no clue. But for the media to try and interpret it, this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I want to state for the record, I love me some Kevin Durant. I don't care if he doesn't like me. I don't care if Kobe doesn't like me. I don't care if LeBron doesn't like me, or Melo or D-Wade or whatever, which is not the case. But I'm saying if they did, so be it. They don't owe me to like me. Just don't lie on me by calling me a liar. Don't try to impugn my integrity or tarnish my reputation. See, I ain't in my 20s, and I wasn't the gifted basketball player that these guys are. So that means over the course of the last 23 to 25 years, I had to earn my stripes to get here. And because you don't like what I had to say, you're going to try to impugn my reputation? I ain't having that. I'm not having it. Why didn't you sign a contract extension, Kevin Durant? If I'm lying, what are you trying to say? Is it definite that you're going to sign with Oklahoma City? Why haven't you yet? And if you are going to leave Oklahoma City or consider leaving Oklahoma City, are you trying to tell me you're not going to consider the second largest market in all of the United States? That's a fabrication. You went to Rock Nation for nothing? even though they don't handle your basketball matters. It's Nike, it's Sprint, it's a host of other endorsement deals that you have in excess of $300 million. You're doing it for a reason. And guess what? That's your business. But you know something? This is my business. This media thing we got going on here. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not the kind of person, I'm not going to respond to every idiot blogger. But if you're a reputable publication and you're going to sit there and accuse me of threatening this guy and misconstruing my comments, you go right ahead. I don't believe I threatened him. As a matter of fact, I emphatically state I don't. But you can think that if you want to. Let me tell you what I emphatically did. I reminded the world I have this platform for a reason. You say something about me, I am going to respond if I want to. I have that luxury. It was earned. Anybody that wants to question my credibility, go back and look at the stories I've broken. Matter of fact, John, I don't even cover the NFL. I don't think I covered the NFL. Who broke the Tom Brady story with his cell phone? Wasn't that me? Who broke the Cam Chancellor story? Wasn't that me? I don't even cover the NFL, and I'm breaking more damn stories than some of these guys out here. Of course, I'm not talking about Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen at ESPN. I look up to those guys. You know who you are. Y'all better ask somebody. Kevin Durant did this for a reason. He thought he could just run his mouth and get away with it. You can't with me. I don't give a damn who you are. I'm not having it. I love Kevin Durant. I respect the hell out of him. As I do all of those marquee players I named and then some. They are good people. They are role models. But they are not flawless. And the mistake that Kevin Durant made was coming at me. Because I didn't deserve it. I've done nothing but praise him in every way imaginable. He was wrong. And he actually owes me an apology. I won't demand it. I'll probably never get it. But that doesn't mean he doesn't owe it to me. That's right, I said it.